Many people ask me if I'm an artist or I'm a scientist or someone that more into technology, as someone who's practiced interactive media and actively teaching and working using this medium. I think there was ways in my life that I stand between these two roads, but I do not consider myself any of this fully. I am more user of art, storytelling, technology. I am drawn to science because I think I want to keep exploring this world and complex mechanism. And I am drawn in art because it's a great medium that I can use the storytelling and introduce all of this discussion to the people to keep them inspired and ignite conversation. In 2019, while I was very involved in bioart and I was at the same time dealing with trauma and loss of my mother because of cancer, I was given a red crystal by one of my friends to help me to deal with my nightmares, and she believed that this could help me because of the healing component that is hidden in all these crystals. That's the moment that actually the idea came to my mind, because for years I was working with saffron as a medium, which represents Persian cuisine. And also it was a gesture and honor to my mother. She always used saffron in the kitchen. So I tried in using this chemistry and mix different materials together and come up with a solution of saffron and sodium borate together, which in extra heat, they actually mix and grow crystals around objects. I dedicate my time to choose some of the objects that represent my mother. For example, chess, that she loved to use chess, lots of frames or pictures, mirror, table, chair, her wedding shoes. And I immersed them all in this crystals, basically the solution of that gives time to the crystals to actually form in front of all the objects. And it was very successful, but I didn't feel that it's enough. I'm actively working for years in performance art. As someone that used the body as a canvas, I decided to come up with a solution and test partially to see if it's possible if I can immerse my body inside a solution, which was successful. During 2 hours performance, I immersed myself and my body inside a hot, saturated sodium borate and saffron and let the crystal to grow to my body. This performance and the prop that I was using in this performance, such as the terracotta, which I made that terracotta because it was an ancient practice in my region for years, and people bury their loved ones inside the vessels, and those vessels actually had a lot of meaning. For example, vessels of life and death, something in between that, and also the way that shape was, which was more like a fetus inside a mother's womb. It was a very, very difficult performance, and lots of things should be considered. I could not move my body inside this vessel, and at the end of the performance, after 2 hours, the team members smashed that vessels and the water released and my body emerged, which was crystallized in red because of saffron. This project actually helped me a lot to deal with death of my mother. I believe art has this capability to help us as an artist to heal and deal with so much trauma and feeling that happened to our life. It kind of worked like a medicine for us. Definitely it could help others as well. And during this process, I was able to understand how much this process of growing cancer cell over 10 years in my mom's body was very similar to growing crystals, and how the nature works. And I start thinking symbolically that under heat and pressure, my mother's body transformed to a beautiful crystal or diamond. In my recent researches and practices, I focus a lot in the idea of how a woman body can be an impossible body, can work as an engine. In my Impossible Baby Project or Lactation Induction Engine, I use my body as a source of parenthood or motherhood to explore all this responsibility, all this sense of belonging. Both of my project was inspired by how an organ in the body can produce milk without being a host, without being any relation to the pregnancy, and follow the order of certain practices and performance in order to produce milk. I am aiming to build relationship within some phenomenon that maybe not happening now, but it might happen in thousands of years when women don't need to get pregnant. And I'm asking, what is going to be the expectation of a woman that physiologically used to have this connection with a baby? If I want to recreate such a relationship in a robotic form or an artificial form with something that I'm going to implant in myself for over a year, how my body can tolerate this with a baby that might not physiologically grow, but intellectually completely. I hope that I can, within this project, create a lot of important discussion of where or world going with this fast speed. By doing this project, I want people to think about what and how the new life can create it now and in the future, and what really creation means. I believe as an artist or scientist or bioartist, the moment that you put the art in display or you make it happen in action, that's the moment that art actually born. The moment that people start to create content, generate question out of that project.